Let me also clarify a bit more what Alex is proposing so it becomes even clearer. Essentially, what he is proposing can be easily described as a decentralized airdrop farm. Let's say, for instance, some participants only have about 10 atoms. And obviously, their airdrop and chances to get it would be negligible. However, if they had 100 atoms, they would receive much more. Or if they had 300 atoms, it would be even more so. Similarly, someone might have only 3 injectives, which is a small amount, but if those were pooled into an address with 50 injectives, the airdrop would be significant. So, we have a large number of participants, many of whom have relatively small amounts of tokens. If these participants pooled their tokens into a single address and delegated from that address, they would receive larger airdrops which they could then distribute among themselves. And now, what can we do to make it work with the help of post-human investments? Ideally, we would create a system like in the following example. There is a smart contract where a person can deposit atoms. These atoms are sent to an address, and from there, they are delegated, for example, to the POSTHUMAN Validator. With many people doing this, the address will accumulate, let's say, for example, maximum 300 atoms, and when the next deposit to the smart contract occurs, it would replenish the next address, effectively multiplying the addresses. We might set a limit of, let's say, for example, 300 atoms per address. Once 300 atoms accumulated, the new ones will go to the next Cosmos address, and so on. These staked tokens would also earn rewards since they are staked. Rewards accumulate, and when airdrops happen, they can be claimed from these addresses. Additionally, since they are delegated to post-human, they are also earning the PHMN stake drop. Here is an example. When someone delegates, let's say, 30 atoms, they receive 30 air tokens or air atoms in return. This means that if an address with 300 atoms receives an airdrop of 100 new tokens, and someone holds 30 air atoms on this address, it is equal to 10% of the atoms on this address. This person will get 10% of the airdrop, plus 10% of any rewards that have been accumulated. Additionally, anyone who wants to get their atoms back can simply send their air atoms to PHMN and receive the equivalent amount of atoms in return. Plus, they will receive the rewards earned during their holding period. They can always return their air atoms to withdraw their original atoms along with the accumulated rewards. This would be the ideal structure using smart contracts, which we can develop over time. This could even become a separate protocol similar to liquid staking or restaking protocols, but also eligible for airdrops because these addresses will receive airdrops. Let's talk about pros and cons. This approach has both advantages and disadvantages. The key issue is who will claim the airdrops if they are not automatically distributed and require a transaction to be signed from the address. For example, if claiming the airdrop involves joining a Discord server and signing a transaction from that address, it poses a problem if no one has access to the address. In such cases, the airdrop cannot be claimed. What if the requirements for the airdrop become more complex? For example, what if claiming the airdrop involves joining a server and signing a transaction? In such cases, we might face difficulties if we are using smart contracts and no one has access to perform these actions. In our case, we have the post-human investments. We have a DAO comprised of known and responsible members who manage these addresses. When users or investors contribute to the treasury, we establish a sub-DAO called the Decentralized Airdrop Farm Sub-DAO. Contributions such as atoms, Osmo, Injective, and others are sent to this sub-DAO. We then return a corresponding number of tokens to the contributors. For example, for those who sent us 100 Osmo, we will return 100 Air Osmo. Similarly, for those who sent us 100 Atom, we will send back 100 Air Atom. For those who sent 100 Injective, we will return 100 Air Inch. In all cases, we will return an equivalent amount of Air tokens. Now we have addresses, all of which are visible on the blockchain. These addresses are managed from hardware wallets. From these addresses, coins will be sent to staking. When the coins are staked, rewards are accumulated on these addresses, PHMN is claimed, and all airdrops are claimed. The responsibility for claiming the airdrops will be assigned to those managing the addresses. The rest of the community will monitor and remind about the necessary activities for receiving airdrops. We will gather all incoming airdrops along with staking rewards and PHMN rewards. We will gather all incoming airdrops along with staking rewards and PHMN rewards. Additionally, we will establish, let's say, an epoch such as maybe once a month to review the total rewards accrued and any new airdrops. We will then claim and distribute these rewards proportionally among the holders of Air tokens based on their contributions. For example, if we have 3 addresses each holding 300 Atom and 5 addresses with Osmo, and so on, we can see how many of each type of token has arrived at each address. We also track the number of AIR tokens held by each participant, the total number of Air tokens, and determine how much to distribute to each address. All rewards and airdrops are distributed in proportion to the amount of Air tokens held, ensuring that both airdrops and accumulated rewards are allocated accordingly. Sorry, I'd like to clarify. I'm trying to understand the concept. And it's very important for me to grasp the main idea so that it's easier to comprehend moving forward. In other words, will there be a single address, like a pool, where everyone sends their tokens? No, it won't be just one address. There will be many addresses. The reason is that if the airdrop is the same regardless of whether 100 Atom are delegated to one address or 1,000 Atom are delegated, there's no advantage to using a single address. Instead, we can create 10 addresses with 100 Atom each and delegate from those, maximizing our distribution efficiency.